Hi, I'm Jill Morse. Welcome to Cooking with Coco Plum. I'm here today with Jack from Candelario's Southwestern Grill. And today we're going to be focusing on Mexican food. So what's our first dish?
Well, Jill, it's great to be here, and thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
We're going to be doing 4 different dishes today, and each one is going to focus on one of our great sauces.
Super.
And the first sauce we're going to do is going to be sweet and spicy chipotle glaze. Now, the chipotle glaze is made from a very specific pepper called a chipotle, obviously, which is actually a dried smoked jalapeno. And it has the wonderful heat of a jalapeno and that nice smoky sweet flavor in it. And we get all that right into the jar, and we're going to do that over wings today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some of our chicken wings, which we pre-blanched, and actually, before we do that, I have to add in a little bit of our secret chili rub, which is an ancho chili rub, and mix it into our flour mix, which is half and half cornmeal and flour.
Okay.
And we mix this in for a little bit of added spice and flavor. It's a great blend. It's one of our new products that we're putting out. And we're just going to get a nice even coating on here with all of our wings. And we're going to put them into a pan over here. So let me get these all coated up.
Now, before you're coating them, do you dip them in anything, or it just sticks right onto the chicken?
If you want to use a wash ahead of time, you can. You could use an egg wash if you want a thicker crust. At the restaurant, we like the breading to be actually very light and just a little bit of crunch. And of course, we deep fry them at the restaurant, but these are also great grilled. And today we're actually baking them. And we have a set whole dozen of these already in the oven. And we're going to put them in let them be in the oven. We're going to stick these in right now.
Okay.
We have another set working, and they look pretty good.
Here, I'll take that one.
You take that one.
Okay.
And in the meantime, we've put some chipotle glaze into a pot here. We're just going to warm it up a little bit so that we can use the glaze on top of our wings. We also do at the restaurant some great things with sweet and spicy chipotle glaze. We do a shrimp dish that's both as an appetizer and as an entree, and it's got that wonderful sweetness on the shrimp, and then the heat from the chipotle comes on nice and slow, kind of like a freight train, and then it just keeps on coming.
Ooh,
and as you eat more and more, it kind of builds. And we try to keep the heat of the peppers down so that you can actually taste the pepper too. We don't want to just blow your taste buds away. We want you to actually enjoy what you're eating. And
Taste a little food too.
Yeah, you get to taste the food too. You get to taste the shrimp. And that dish is actually done with a great mango salsa. And mango salsa is a terrific thing to put on all sorts of dishes, both fish and chicken.
And that's another one that you make, the mango salsa.
We make a mango salsa, but the mango salsa we make is mostly a fresh product. We actually haven't put it into a jar yet.
Okay.
And then we also do a barbecued salmon with this, where you just grill or saute your salmon and brush this on as a finishing glaze, and it makes you look like a pro. And it has great flavor. Everybody that tries this, it gets addicted to it very quickly. So let's pull out those wings.
Okay. We'll go on to our next step.
And then we can go into the next part of what we're going to be doing. So I'm actually just going to take them out of this pan here, put them into a bowl, and then I'm going to coat them. And they're already nice and crisp, little flecks of cornmeal on there, cooked throughout.
Yeah, just put it down there.
And we just love to slather this on here and let it get over everything. And I like to just quickly toss them so you can get a nice even coating on them. And then we're going to stack them up on a plate. And we're going to go ahead and garnish them. And today for a garnish, I brought a pico de gallo, which is basically a fresh salsa. It's a dice of jalapenos. We like to use the Mexican white onion. It's a little bit milder, almost sweet like a Vidalia. And tomatoes, a little bit of red onion, and we put in a little bit of lime juice and cilantro.
Can't forget the cilantro.
Cilantro is, in so much of the cuisine, and it adds a great, vibrant flavor to the cuisine. And it's kind of what basil is to Italian cuisine. So if you're at home and you want to do this,
Okay.
we have the squirt bottle, which we love to use at the restaurant. Quickly paint it.
And what are you putting on there?
We call it Mexican crema.
Okay.
It's actually sour cream blended with a little bit of lime juice. Put a little bit of pico on top. And for the blue cheese fans, everybody has to have blue cheese with their wings. This is the greatest setup for the next big holiday coming up and the biggest family holiday around, the Super Bowl.
Yes, and that looks great. That looks great.
And you got your celery sticks, and these are just to die for.
Okay.
And that's why we call them the world's best wings.
Okay, we're going to take a break and be right back with more Cooking with Coco Plum. Hey, we're back with Jack from Candeleros. Jack, what smells so good?
Well, we're going to be making a smoky beef chili. And actually, we got to turn some of these on so we can actually get cooking again.
Okay.
We made some of this up, and I'm going to run through so that we can finish cooking it. But we're going to serve it today with some black beans. And we have a black bean soup mix out now.
Okay.
And that's where we're going to put in this one big pot here. And this is how to look, like a king really quick. It's a soup mix. You put it in. I've already put a little bit of water in there. And then afterwards, we're going to add 2 quarts of water. We're going to bring it to boil. And it takes about an hour. And we can use it also if we let it condense a little bit more, let the water go out. We can make it into refried black beans. And that's going to be the accompaniment for our smoky beef,
Okay.
as well as some rice that we made.
Okay. And this is something too that we can get online.
This is something you can get
That you make?
Yep,
Okay.
online or in gift packs or at the restaurant.
All right.
And then the featured sauce today is going to be smoke and chipotle sauce. Now that's a little different than their first sauce. It's a tomato-based sauce, and it does have the chipotle once again in it. And this is great. Has again nice heat to it, not too spicy. Great, makes a great chili or a great stew. Makes a great marinade. We put a little bit of orange juice and honey in it. Use it on fish and chicken. So anyways, let's start cooking here.
Okay.
Let me get the pan going, and it's hot.
It's going, yes.
It's hot.
Yes,
So-
this magnetic induction cooktop from Viking it's
These are
very
pretty
warm.
amazing.
Yeah, they heat up fast.
They heat up very fast. Anyways, we're using skirt steak, and we've marinated it overnight ahead of time. And we're going to saute off some onions. And this is pretty simple because the sauce has so many things in it already. It already has lots of cumin, coriander, and cilantro. We're going to use a few more spices, salt and pepper. But we're going to start cooking this off. And you can already smell all that wonderful marinade starting to caramelize and cook up.
Yeah, the cooking
And then I'm going to
onions.
open up that jar and just sort of pour it on top.
Okay.
You can just... So let's start seasoning it a little bit. We've got a mix of Mexican oregano, coriander, cumin. It's going to add some more spice to it.
Okay.
A little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper.
And the wonderful thing about these recipes are they're all found online.
They're all found online at www.candeleros.net. And there's a whole set of recipe cards that goes with each of the sauces and salsas. So you can cook with them. You can obviously use the salsas just for your chips. Hopefully one day we'll actually be putting our own chips in bags also, because our customers love the chips that we make. We make those every day, and we have 2 different types of chips. Now, this is great because this has been cooking for a little while, and if I can figure out which one it is, here it is. We're going to turn it right up. We're going to put some sauce onto it and let it simmer away. And this is a Texas-style chunky beef chili. And you know, it's obviously going to go great after the wings that we just did. It's also perfect for, again, Super Bowl or just a wintry night.
Yes, it looks wonderful too.
So the black beans, if you want to make them a little bit more flavorful and you're not a vegetarian, you can add a little bit of chicken stock or beef stock instead of just using water. Otherwise, you know, the mix is made up so that vegetarians. And we have to heat up the black beans in the center there a little bit.
Okay, so if I were to make this, then I would buy your mix.
You would
and
buy
then
a black bean
separate-
soup mix, a black bean soup mix.
Uh-huh.
You'd have to make that ahead of time. You'd buy a chipotle sauce, and you'd buy the beef, or you could use chicken instead. You could use ground beef instead if you wanted to. Mm-hmm. And this is, you know, just going to simmer away for, probably half an hour, 45 minutes while everything gets cooked throughout and all those wonderful flavors start to marry. We also are going to pull out, we have some rice here that we're going to plate it with in just a little bit. And I guess I can get rid of this.
Okay. Now, the black beans for the
This is
soup come
This is-
canned.
No, this is how the black beans started.
Oh, okay.
We bring them to boil, and then we let it reduce for about an hour. Then afterwards, this is what they would look like when they're fully cooked.
Oh, okay.
Through the miracle of TV, of course.
All right, all right. I was unclear if that was something you were going to be adding in.
Nope, this is how we start, and since we only have, you know, a couple minutes here on each segment, we don't necessarily need to keep on cooking. But I can see we're steaming up the mirror a little bit with all the steam, and we're just going to start plating this up. This is our already cooked beefy chili. You can see how it's all condensed. We've added in some red bell peppers and some onions and a poblano chili just to add a little bit more spiciness to it. And first what we're going to do is we have the rice on the plate. We're going to dish up a little bit of black beans on top of that. Because every chili has to have some beans.
Yes. And this is smelling so good.
And then we're going to put our great chunky beef, and we use skirt steak, which tends to